Welcome to Word of Mouth, the talking newsletter focused on putting buzz into the small to mid-sized business. Recently, we caught up with Brian Vaszily, the founder of IntenseExperiences.com, one of the world's most popular and unique personal growth websites. This March, Wiley Publishing will be releasing Brian's book, The 9 Intense Experiences, an action plan to change your life forever. Brian, this time of year, many have formed resolutions for the new year. As a life and business coach, do you have any tips to get us to follow through?
I found that what the biggest barrier to success with goals is not so much knowing those goals. We've all had the situation where we are inspired in those quiet times where we think about what we want to achieve, or we read an inspiring book, or listen to a interview perhaps like this, and know what we want to do. But then what happens is we get back into the swing of life on a daily basis. We get back into the swing of things, and life seems to take over, and we don't do the things that we know we should be doing, whatever they are, to achieve our goals. So what I've found to be very successful for people is to have these devices, these little reminders that they set for themselves throughout the course of the day to keep them focused on what it is that they want to achieve, and also keep them focused on overcoming the emotional barriers to achieving that. For instance, real quick here, say you're trying to lose weight. Well, then you know in those quiet times, one of the big barriers is that you get emotionally wrapped up in a situation, and food may be the go-to thing. We know that in theory, but in fact, the course of the day happens, their emotions get swept away, and they reach for the foods that they know they shouldn't be eating. So again, it's setting up these devices for yourself.
Those devices do sound like a great tool. Brian, do you have any examples of them?
Yes, indeed, actually. There's several things that I've seen work really well for people. I'm no big fan of cell phones in the sense that I think it keeps people over-connected to the world. However, I have found a great use of the cell phone is most phones have the alarm feature. And what worked with a lot of my clients is setting the alarm on their phone 6 times a day, 5 times a day, 7 times a day, at set intervals during the course of the day, like every 2 hours or something like that. And just setting it with a favorite chime. And when they hear that chime go off, it's kind of the old stop, look, and listen approach that we learned in elementary school, but now you're doing it for your emotions. And so this alarm goes off, and you just stop a moment, and you look back on the last couple hours and where you are at right now and say, okay, have I been in charge of my emotions? Have I been or where have my emotions swept me away from what it is I'm trying to achieve? And so we train ourselves by doing this out of bad habits, which of course are caused by emotions, and into the good habits that are necessary to achieve whatever the goals we're trying to achieve. Another one that's worked really well for people is simply taking a favorite quote, or several favorite quotes, inspirational quotes by business people, authors, etc., writing them down on a little sticky note and placing them in locations where you know your eyes are going to see them in the course of a typical day. For instance, car dashboard, computer, on the mirror, on the refrigerator door, on the door going out of your house. So by the way, I have a collection of 201 quotes that I am giving away on IntenseExperiences.com that people might be inspired by if they choose to go this route. But again, it's a real effective route. These two together are marvelous for shifting us out of this bad habit during the course of the day of letting our emotions sweep us away and into good habits, so we stay on track to achieve the goals that we know we can in those quiet moments when we thought about them.
Brian, I want to thank you for your thoughts and insights on accomplishing goals in 2011.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Rick.
To continue the conversation with Brian Vaszily, contact him via the information on your screen. You can also find and download the 201 best motivational quotes that Brian mentioned at the website listed. And thank you for clicking on Word of Mouth. This is Rich Steelman. Word of Mouth is a courtesy production of eMotion Marketing, helping SMBs put buzz into business.